What is up, Ham Radio? Kilo Echo 8, Papa Zulu November, the Ham Radio Adventure Guy. We're here for Hump Day Happy Hour. First off, thanks to everybody for stopping by. Your one stop for everything Adventure Radio. I hope the sound is good. I know the video is crappy. I'm still in the temporary QTH, and the studio lighting here is not that great, but we're making it work. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. We actually have a lot of new subscribers, and before we get started here, I want to tell some of the new people out there. First off, thanks for subscribing and welcome. We've picked up double the subscribers since I've been down here that we normally do in a month, but that's because I've been focusing full time on YouTube while I've been down here, and it's been great. I'm really getting some stuff done for the channel, and I appreciate you guys. I also want to go ahead and give the shout out to the newest Patreons. And if you are new here, that is something you may want to check into. The Patreons get a lot of access to bonus features and cool stuff like that. Talk to any of them Patreons and let them tell you about how cool it is. It's just a great way to help support the channel. And also, we have the Adventure program. What we do is this is the top 10 for this quarter. Every 3 months or every quarter, the people who are in the top 10 positions for donating, whether it be through Buy Me a Coffee or Patreon or whatever any form you use to donate gets added to that. And the top 10 gets thrown in, and we do a prize drawing for them. And it's good stuff. So if you're interested in helping the channel, I appreciate it. It helps me keep the adventures going. And if anybody sees that any of the new videos that we've done while we're on vacation, you're gonna really trip out. We've got some great stuff. So look forward to that. We got a good topic tonight. Why should I Pota? I know most of you in the chat's probably thinking, why should you not Pota? Obviously, because that's what I'm thinking. But there's a lot of new people out getting into ham radio, and I just wanted to give a little topic on why you should Pota. So we're gonna get that started. First off, if I've not said hi to everybody, I see what's up, Ed. What's up, James Jenner? Patreon, what's up, Anthony? What's going on, Bill? Oh, of course, Bill, because Pota is fun. And if you ever go Pota with Bill, K4NYM, you're going to have a lot of fun. He's a Pota machine, guys. He's been on the channel once before and talking about Pota roving. And he's actually getting ready to come back again on an episode. What's up, Joseph Collins? All kinds of Patreons pouring in here tonight. But yeah, myself and Bill recently went on a 18-park run, and we had a load of fun. We left, he picked me up at like 7 in the morning, and we got back late that night. And we were both pretty tired, that's for sure. So what's going on, Brian? Anyway, why should you Pota besides it's fun, right, Bill? First off, Pota has something for everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter what part of ham radio that you like to do right now. Pota's got something for you. For example, let's say you are, just a traditional ham radio guy. You like to sit in a house and just talk on the radio. Well, add a little bit of excitement. Become a Pota hunter. All you got to do, sign up, download the app, and start watching the spots. And you'll never not have people to talk to, pretty much. If you got a good enough station, you can talk all night. I know the new Japan stations, they're on all night, every night just about anymore, because it's not nighttime to them. So there's always somebody to talk to in Pota. Also, if you like sitting at the house and talking, but ham radio's kind of stale to you or something, you're tired of tuning through the band and hearing some guy talk about his wife's meatloaf and another guy's fussing about this and this guy's telling you about his colonoscopy and stuff like that. There's always somebody new to talk to in Pota. You can always hunt somebody, and it's great. And it's also a lot of practice for like contest weekends and stuff like that, learning to break pileups because I'll tell you what, the pileups lately have gotten so intense in Pota. I mean, I don't know whether people have just gotten used to hunting me and they know they're going to hear me or what, but it's hard for me to do a park anymore without the pileups being like crazy. I can remember when I first started doing Pota and, I'd get 15 or 20 contacts and I'd be like, oh man, this is great. And, then I stepped it up to my first late shift and I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. But anymore, like even my day shift stuff, it's, matter of fact, I was trying to do a semi-rove today, not a bill rove, but a semi-rove today. And, I had been at the first park. It was a twofer and I was trying to move on and it went dead. And I was like, all right, last call. Then here come 10 more. Then I was like, last call. Then here come 20 more. And I bet you I sat there for another 30 minutes and just kept on going and going and going. And finally, I got out of there and went to the next park and stuff like that. What's going on, Pat? Good to see you out there in the chat tonight. But, yeah, the pileups are crazy. And we'll get to that part and activate. Now, I'll move. I'll keep going back to hunting. So, say there are bands that normally you don't get to talk a lot on because you don't never know there's somebody there or you don't know if it's open or not like that. If you're a hunter for Pota and you got a spotting page, some of us activators are crazy and just randomly try weird bands sometimes, and we'll spot ourselves. And I've been known to pop on 10 meters a lot, whether it's open or not, and sometimes still make a few contacts. So, I mean, it'll help you get used to getting your other bands in. What if you're a technician and need 10 meters? You can go ahead and sign up for Pota, and then somebody spots on 10, you can go ahead and try to hunt them. So, yeah, 15 meters. Brian, I have been doing, matter of fact, Joseph Collins, he's in the chat. Last week on the after chat, Joseph asked me to start activating more on 15 meters. And every day this week that I have been out, I have at least hit 15 meters for a little bit. And I'll tell you, I've been killing the DX on 15. It was really good on 20 today too, but 15, I've just been absolutely smashing DX left and right. And so the Pota guys, they'll get on bands that you're not used to, and it'll give you more experience as a hunter and stuff like that. There's a late shift on 60 meters right now. David said it's probably Joseph VE3 GKT. It might not be, but there's very few people that do Pota 60 meters. I've been known to do it. Joseph does it a lot, and I've seen a few more, but it's not worked a whole lot. Also, 30 meters is not worked a lot because you can't do sideband, but I've worked it quite a bit too. Joseph, my newer activating schedule. Yeah, that's another thing. Where I have been on this Pota / YouTube vacation trip, my activating schedule has dramatically changed because when I'm home and I'm at work, I work during the day, and as soon as I get off, I start going to parks. I might get 2 parks in for that day and then start hitting the night shift for the next day, or I might just get 1 in for that day and start hitting the night shift for the next day. But so it's more of an evening time switch, and typically there it's mostly 40 or 80 meters, which is another world. We won't even get into that right now. We probably will, but who knows about it. But down here, I'm more of get up the time I normally am going to work and go hit some parks. And I've been working a lot of 20, 15 and stuff like that. So, yeah, my new schedule's got a lot of people who, when they do get me down here, they're like, man, we miss you. When are you coming back? And I'm like, yeah, I'm not in a big hurry. It's cold up there, and I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing. But yeah, I do got to go back. I leave Monday afternoon if all goes as planned, and we'll be heading back that way. So, but anyway, there's the hunting side of it. Then there's the activator side of it, which is something that I really, really enjoy. And we're going to get to that in just a second. But I'm going to share with you a little stat here. And just for the people who think Pota is not going to be sticking around or anything, and I don't think it's anybody in here, but in June of 2020, there was an average of about the average was about 500 activations that month. So somewhere around that time. And in November of 2021, the average was about 1,200 activations a month. And it's still continuously rising. I was looking at the chart from the beginning to the end today, and there is no place to get that chart, by the way. But I was lucky enough to get access where I was preparing for this show. Somebody hooked me up, and it's growing like crazy. And I know you activators can already tell that, because, yeah, like I said, the pileups have gotten more crazy. So Pota's not going anywhere. And for all the people, when you're out activating, who get aggravated with you and try to run you off, and just hang in there. They're not going to be able to. There's too many of us strong. So don't get too aggravated with them. Yeah, wait until spring, Brian. You're absolutely right. It's this spring and the summer is going to be a little bit crazy. All right. So anyway, on to activating, on why you should Pota. Activating is my favorite part. Little short story about my ham radio career, and a lot of you know it. But like I said, we've got a lot of new subscribers, so I try to share it. I got my technician license to honor my father, who always wanted me to be a ham. And really, I had not really no plans to go further. And I was bored, not this last, I think it was December of 2020. And I hooked up his old radio, and I was just scrolling through, listening and stuff. And I heard a Parks on the Air activation, and it intrigued me. And I started listening and listening. And then I went and got on YouTube and started looking at Parks on the Air videos. Matter of fact, the first video I ever watched for Parks on the Air was Smoke Signals RS. Old Don, good guy. I love Don to death. And I just kept watching videos. And was like, I got to do it. So I went and studied. I took my general. The day I took my general, I came home, hooked Dad's radio back up, and started hunting Pota, with my stroke AG in there. And I hunted for, I hunted for about a week, actually. And I said, I want to activate. So I started saving for a new radio, because, of course, Dad got the big boat anchor. And while I was doing that, I kept hunting and got my new radio. And on March the 20th of 2021, I went and did my first activation at Kilo 1810 Chief Logan State Park, and I ain't never looked back. It's been a journey for me. And if many of you guys know me, I'm one of the most active activators, in the country. So it's good stuff. It's a lot of fun. But reasons why you should activate. Let's say you live in an HOA, or you live in an apartment in the city, It's got all these electronic devices in all the apartments near you and everything like that. And, the noise level is just crazy. So going outside and getting portable is a great way to get rid of that noise level, or put up an antenna where you couldn't at home. And, just being out there and making contacts. Yeah, you can just do regular ham radio like that, but why not just go to your local Pota park and do some Pota? It's a great, yeah, Ken, I'm radioactive. You're right. Good one. But it's a great way to get started in hunting, and you get out there and you have new stuff, new people hunting you. Thank you very much, Ken, who just bought 5 slices of pizza. I appreciate it, and we will update the chart for next week. Put that on there. Much appreciation. Anything donated tonight will help on my trip back. I leave next Monday, and this has been a very expensive trip. As many of you know, it's hard to take off work for a month and not have a lot of expenses while you're gone and when you come back. So I've done this to try to grow the channel and to make this stuff better for me and for you guys. So I appreciate it, Ken. And so that's reason number 1 to activate. Reason number 2 is just getting out in the outdoors. I mean, I like to hunt Pota from the shack at the house, but honestly, there's some evenings if I'm hunting, I take the radio and I still go outside and just hunt from outside because I like being in the outdoors. So if you're any kind of outdoorsy person like that, it's a great thing just to go out and enjoy the nature and just do that. Now, there's a lot of different kinds of activating, and we'll get into that in just a couple of minutes and stuff. But getting outdoors and being on the radio, it just really, really calms me. As a matter of fact, yesterday I went to, hold on, let me think of the name of this, Pontoon Island State Park. And you ride a ferry over to the island and you activate it. Matter of fact, thanks to Bill, who's in the chat, who told me about it. And it's a really beautiful place. And I was set up on a little picnic table right there by the river, and it was just so enjoyable. And I really enjoy just sitting there and activating and talking to people, and it's just a lot of fun. So outdoorsy place, that's one thing. Number 2, you're going to see and go to places if you get really active like I do. Like I've activated all the parks in West Virginia. Now, mind you, I have been to all the parks in West Virginia, all the state parks to West Virginia prior to that, because I used to be a geocacher. But I have not been to all the wildlife management areas and stuff like that I ended up going to for Parks on the Air. And just some of the stuff you see, like, for example, the last park I did in West Virginia to make my award was Lost River State Park. And just the view from the overlook up there, I hiked up to the overlook, and you see 5 counties in 2 different states, and it's just absolutely amazing. So some of the things you see, for example, since I've been down here, well, last year when I came down here in April and stayed for a while, and I stayed with my mom when I come down here, and she went to the majority of the parks with me last year, and she enjoyed getting out so much that even when I left, her and her boyfriend, they decided they were going to start being more outdoorsy, and they got some bikes and they go out and they ride every weekend and stuff like that. So, me doing Parks on the Air actually encouraged them to be more healthy and get out and do that. So that's another perk. But she's lived in Florida for over 10 years, probably closer to 15. I don't remember how many, but in the past 2 trips that I've came down here that I've been doing Parks on the Air, she's been to places that she has absolutely never seen and never been, and she absolutely loves it. She goes out, we'll go to the park, and she'll go hiking or taking pictures or go looking at animals or stuff like that. And it's just absolutely the stuff you see you wouldn't see unless you were doing some sort of hobby, that would get you there. And Parks on the Air will do that. So another thing, take the time. I get it when you're roving, you got to hurry when you're in the park. If you're trying for a radar award or something like that. But if you're just going to the park to activate, take the time to check out the park and enjoy some of the nature and stuff like that. So make sure and Ken says he's waiting to do his first activation, waiting for Michigan weather to settle down. Ken, that ain't no excuse. Come on, man. Come on, get some ham radio adventure guy stuff going on in there, man. I, I'm not going to say it's the coldest weather or nothing, but I have activated in 7-degree weather, so with snow on the ground, you can do it. And I was outdoor. I wasn't even in my car. You still got your car that you can use too. Let's see what Mike's saying. What's going on, Mike? Good to see you. He said he's tired from his Pota today. I've been trying to park Mike a little bit today, or the last few days, and it's hard because he's in Jacksonville and I'm around Lakeland, and 20 meters is a little rough. Although, interesting thing that happened in the park today, I got park to park on 20 meters from the same park, and of course it was ground wave, but it was really, really funny. He gave me the park numbers. I was like, wait, that's where I'm at. And I asked him where he was. So after my activation, I went over and met him and talked to him and stuff like that. So really, really, really cool. I did park to park in the same park before on 2 meter and 440, but I've never done park to park in the same park on 20 meters. So good stuff. Anyway, let's keep going. Reasons to activate. You ever try to chase DX and the pile up is just like super, super intense, and you're like, man, I wish people would chase me like that. Activate Parks on the Air. That simple. Maybe not your first or second time because people's getting used to you and stuff like that. Hey, one of you mods, keep an eye. Probably a bot there. If they are, just get rid of them for me. Anyway, if you activate and they get used to you and they know they can hear you, they're going to hunt you and they're going to pile up on you like crazy. Like you are the DX. Matter of fact, I have DX contacting me and thanking me for the contact, and thank you, Hayden. And I had a couple of Puerto Rico guys today, and they're like, "Thank you very much. Thank you so much. We appreciate you." And a guy from Spain, I really pulled him out of the noise, and he was so grateful. And that's calls that we're normally like freaking out if we got, and they're just happy because they're getting us. Because they're hunting Pota. Pota's all over the world now, and the DX has picked up like. All right, my last activation today, I did 5 today. I got 2 Puerto Ricos, Jamaica, Spain, France, and Azores. And that was just in my last activation. Whereas before, when I first started, if you Canada was your DX, and I'm not saying nothing bad about that. I love my Canadian guys, but there's probably 20 or 30 of them that hunt me every activation. So, it's really crazy. Matter of fact, Pat, you're in the chat. you have a DX hunter coming on your show tomorrow night. So throw that out in the chat, and we'll try to get you some people over there watching it. So I think it's tomorrow night. I'm not 100% sure, but Pat will throw it out in the chat for you guys. But you're the DX. So, I mean, if you ever want to step up your game and see if you can handle, there you go. Yeah. CU3HY, that's Mike. He was actually the one that worked me today. He works me about every day from Azores that I've been down here in Florida anyway. So that's going to be a really cool interview. Pat actually scooped me on that one. Mike had reached out to me, and I didn't get back to him in time, and Pat got him. And good for you, Pat. That's awesome. I look forward to it, and I will be watching. Even if I'm in a park, I will flip over to FT8, and I will watch your show tomorrow night because I look forward to it, Pat. So what if you don't care, put your time of your show tomorrow night in the chat. That way everybody knows. Anyway, you're the DX. You want to try your skills at it. Here's your chance. Say you like contesting and there's just not enough. You know, they say Pota is not a contest, but I will tell you point blank, Pat says 1900 hours, and that will be Eastern time because Pat's Eastern time like me. But I will tell you, Pota is not a contest. It is the contest of contests, because everybody that I know personally that does Pota, you know, that I hang out with a decent amount or whatever, they're competitive. I don't care what they say. We're all having fun, and we all love to have fun, but everybody has some competition in them. And, you know, whether it's, how you doing, Wild Cascadia? Good to see you. Whether it's just you making competition with yourself, which is something I'm bad about doing. Like, I set goals. You guys know that when I did the New Year's stream, I set 400 activations for this year, 200 unique parks, 10 new states, and Delaware in a week. And I'm going to crush that. Like, honestly, by the end of February, I'm going to be halfway through the 400 and the 200. The Delaware in a week, I'll get that in a week, of course. And I've only got 2 of the 10 states so far, but I'll get to that. Not a problem. Not a problem for sure. While I'm thinking about it, because there is a lot of Patreons in the chat, don't forget Happy Hour After Dark tonight after the show. You want to come hang out and chat a little bit, I will drop the link toward the end of the show, and we have a good time. Sometimes we're really, really late. Sometimes we get to bed early. I'm going to try to get to bed a little earlier tonight. How's it going, Jeff? Last week we stayed up till about 3 o'clock, and I got a Pota tomorrow morning. We're leaving at 7 tomorrow. So anyway, where was I? Activating. Right. More stuff. We covered You're the DX. Combining it with other hobbies. This goes back into there's many types, different types of activating. There's the kind that I really enjoy. Like I said, going to the park the other day and sitting there against the river and just kick back and activating and getting the contacts. And I love those type of activations. Then there's the roving, like Bill and Carrie do. And I got some experience. You know, I used to think I was a rover. And, you know, it wasn't no problem me handling it because I'm used to going out morning till late night and activating. It's just a different style. And it was definitely different. Yeah, Pota the late shift is don't start activating on a late shift. If you ever start activating, don't start on a late shift. Just a heads up, and I'll explain that in a minute. But so there's the kickback, you know, just make your contacts way. There's the radar way, trying to get your 3, your 5, your 7s, or whatever, the different radar awards. And them are a little more quick and got to get. And then there's we're trying to have more activations than anybody in the world roving. And let me tell you, myself and Bill, we went out and we had it down to an art. He would pull in, I would jump out, I would do half the setup, he would do half the setup. We get in, we call CQ, we got the contacts. He was shutting off the radio. He's stone hearted, let me tell you, because he knows I'm going to sit there and try to get all them hunters I can. And he'd say one more, and once that one more was over, bam, power went off. So, but then we're both jumping out. I'm throwing my part back. He's throwing his part back in the car, and we were gone again. Like it was intense. I really enjoyed roving with Bill. It was a lot of fun. It's totally different than I'm used to, for sure, but intense. But different style of activation, aka the hiking activation. So combining it with something else. If you really like nature, like I do, and I like to hike and stuff like that, I do get out and yeah, we were, Mike. We were balls to the wall, man. Like, it was crazy. He was like, "All right, guys, last one, and we'll be activating again in 10 minutes." And I'm like, 10 minutes, and boom, balls to the wall, and there we went. I could not rove like that in West Virginia. The parks are differently set up, we'll just say. But fun stuff. Had a lot of fun doing it. I really enjoyed it. But I do sometimes like to hike. Well, I'm going to do 10 sodas this year. I've only done one so far, so I got to get used to hiking. But sometimes I just do hiking QRP activations, which are a lot of fun. You get out to places you don't normally get out, so you can combine it with hiking. I'm also going to do a video. Myself and Bill was talking about it, and we was talking about some different stuff that I was going to do this year. I'm going to do a mountain biking to Pota video. So I'm going to mountain bike out somewhere remote. And of course, it'll probably be in like a national forest or something like that. Somewhere that I can activate for Pota. I think it'll be a good video, good stuff. But you can combine it. You can combine it with soda. My first soda was a soda Pota. What antennas did me and Bill use? Reed. The very first activation we used the chameleon because we were doing 40 because it was still early, so we used a chameleon with some radials. But after that, we only went to 20, and we was pretty much using the MFJ 17-foot antenna, and that was about it. And we ran that pretty much most of the night, and then toward the evening, we had to switch it up a little bit, and we ran a 1-to-1 on that 17 at one park where because we couldn't put out no radios for 40. It was actually a very, very weird park. It was right beside of a little street, and right across the street was a bar with live music playing. So we were literally activating and listening to a live band play. So that was an interesting activation. My camera batteries had done died at that point. I wish I would have had some of that. I think I got like a little bit of that on film, and I haven't watched it yet. So I want to see if some of that music bleeds over. Of course, I couldn't play it on YouTube, but fun stuff. Bars on the air. That's exactly what I was thinking, Jesse. I was like, we need to just start a new thing. Bars on the air. You make 10. You got to make 10 QSOs and slam a beer, and then go to the next park. That would be a fun rove, wouldn't it? Anyway, point being said, there's so many reasons why you should Pota, and like I can't tell you how much Parks on the Air has changed my life, and it makes me happy because I'm so into ham radio, like my dad always wanted. And all the guys from the club is always telling me how he's looking down and proud of me and stuff like that. So it's been an amazing ride. And main reason you should Pota is just start and find out your own reason why you should Pota. You won't be disappointed. I promise you that. It just takes over you. It's your new thing. Sorry, I just got a notification. I wanted to make sure if it was piece of pizza. Thank you very much, William. It wasn't pizza. It was a tip jar. Thank you, William Collins, for the tip jar. I appreciate it. I will update you. I appreciate that very much. But just get out there and do it. Like it's crazy, and set some goals for yourself. You don't got to compete with anybody but yourself. Do what makes you happy. Have fun with it. That's the point. If you're not having fun, it's not going to do you no good anyway. But like, I don't know. I get so competitive with myself. Like, oh, I can do more than that. I can do more than that. And like, I've literally been in parks before and be like, oh, I'm making a lot of QSOs today. Hey, I wonder what the most QSOs ever made here. So then I'm looking it up and see what the most QSOs are ever. I was like, oh, I can do that. Or and it's just crazy. I push myself to the limits. I can't wait to do some CW Pota. I'm still struggling learning the receiving on the CWN because I'm deaf in my right ear from brain cancer. But I can't wait to do some CW. But that's what I said. No matter what you like in ham radio, you can do it with Pota. Okay, you don't like to talk. You like to do FT8. The guy that I met in the park today is the majority of what he does, because he had throat cancer and he can't talk a lot, is FT8. But he goes out and he does a lot of FT8 in the that'd be great, Pat. I'd love to park you in CW. Yeah, that would be real great. We should actually set that up, Pat, because you're learning CW and I'm learning CW, and that way, if we mess it up epically, we do it together. Be fun stuff. But the guy had throat cancer a while back, and he does mostly FT8 now, and he goes out and does a Pota. He actually lived in Sarasota, which was about an hour and a half from the park that I was at. So he gets out and trains. Pat, I can't do it this weekend because I didn't even bring my my key with me here to Florida, because I knew I wasn't going to have time to mess with it. So, but we can do it as soon as I get back. So, FT8 Pota, you can, if you're into hunting satellites, there's people to get out there and do. Thank you very much, Wild Cascadia. I appreciate it. There's people who get out and hunt satellites. They do satellites and do Pota. I think that would be really cool. I've always been wanting to get into satellites and stuff like that, and I think that would be cool because that would give me something new to do. Is try to do a whole activation on satellites. SSTV, I know Pat wants to do a whole activation on. You want me to beep into the mic? What if I do CW in a foreign language, Pat? Would you still understand it? I love the chat sometimes, man. It's fun. A lot of the streams, I'm sitting there, I'm talking to a guest, and I don't get to watch the chat as much. That's why sometimes I enjoy doing these streams by myself. I really like having guests better because I like talking to somebody else, because I feel like when I'm up here, I'm just blabbering. But it's good because I can watch the chat more, and because I hang out on a lot of chats on a lot of streams, and sometimes the chat's where it's at. It's great stuff. You guys are amazing. Another reason the Parks on the Air is the relationship you get with the people you would have never met. Um, for example, if you guys are an activator, most of you probably know Whiskey 8, Juliet Delta Echo. He always sings his call out to you. Well, his name is John, and he hunts me religiously. Like, he hunts me on almost every activation I have. He's always hunting me. And he hunted me when I was up in D.C. with Pat. Matter of fact, Pat will remember, because I said, all right, John, sing your call one more time. And I handed it to Pat. And, he's just a great guy. I love John to death. And I noticed, like, for a couple of days in Florida, he hadn't hunted me. And then one day, Kilo Zero AXL worked me, and he said, hold on, I got another operator straight out of the hospital. And it was John, and he didn't sing his call. He was like, he just straight out of the hospital, and he was out of breath and barely talking. And, he was just missing the radio, and it was probably good for him to make the contact to bring his spirits up. But then he disappeared on me again for like a week. And I was really starting to worry about him. I really was, because I hadn't heard him hunting. And now I know what you guys who was messaging me, because I was doing the crazy late shifts, 10, 30, 11 at night, and you wouldn't see him on the spotting page. I know what you guys were feeling. Like, is James okay? He's not on the spotting page. But so today, Kilo Zero AXL worked me again, and I stopped him. I said, hey, how's John? Is he doing okay? And I asked him about him and stuff like that. And he said he's doing better than he was and stuff like that. Said he's trying to get back on the radio and stuff now. I was like, well, you tell him I asked about him. He said, well, I'll get him on the local repeater. I'll call for him. And about 10 minutes later, I hear Whiskey 8, Juliet Delta Echo. And I was just so happy to hear John, because, it's just a relationship that you build with these people, and that you don't even know. I've never met John in person. I've never met Alpha Bravo 8 Lima in person. I've never met, a lot of you guys I've never met. But the relationship that you get when you hunt, when you're getting hunted by these people every day and stuff like that, and the little personality traits that you learn just by talking to them on the radio, you build some really amazing relationships. And that's a great reason why you should Pota, because I'm telling you, it's just, for example, back in December, when 40 meters kind of died out in the evening, when it gets dark, it started dying. So I unfortunately switched to 80 meters. And as many of you know who hunt me and have been in pileups, the people on 80 meters do not really care for Parks on the Air people. And I'm a really polite operator, as long as you're polite to me. If you ask me nicely to move because you want to talk about your butt hurting or your, balls itch or whatever, you ask me nicely, I'll move. You try to run me off, nah, I'll stay there forever. And I'll tell you that I'll stay there forever. And it was really, really funny, because like the hunters that hunt me, I had a guy one night, and he had his CW key, and he was literally holding it down. And he held his CW key down with just a solid tone for, I know, an hour and a half. And I kept telling people, I will get every last one of you. If you can punch through, punch through. And I was coming over top of him. The hunters that have me on Facebook and stuff like that were messaging me. And let's see, 73 Ken, you better catch the rest of this on team replay. But the hunters who could punch through was punching through, and people were like, you're coming over top of the key, but some of them's not getting through, some of the power stations were getting through. And I would sit there and I'd tell him, I was like, guys, we'll stay here till as long as it takes, I was like, eventually, he has no life and lives in his mom's basement, and she'll put him to bed. And, I was just making fun of him because he would just have issues, Who's going to sit and literally hold down it? He probably set something against it and walked out of the room. But, who does that stuff? But, when I switched over to 80, I felt like, these guys are going to run off all my hunters. Nah. Since I've been down here, people's like, man, I can't wait till you get back. I miss you on 80 meters. And I'm like, what in the world? Because I do not miss 80 meters. But I will continue to do 80 meters as long as that's where I got to be for late shift when I'm home, because I like to do my late shifts. Crazy stuff. But get out, do some Pota, build some relationships, and it's just stuff that's going to be great for you to do. I'm going to drop a link in case anybody wants to come on and share their Pota experiences or why they think people should Pota. Let's see here. Somewhere I've got one. All right. Link is dropped. If anybody wants to come on and talk for just a minute or whatever, you are welcome to. And also, that will be the same link for the Patreons for when we end the stream here in about 10 minutes. We'll do the Patreon after hours. And let's see what else we got here. Make sure I ain't missing no notifications. I'm the world's worst at missing the notifications when you guys buy me slices of pizza. And I don't tell you, and then I end up having to tell you matter of fact, I didn't miss it, but really rare. I don't know. I think he's in the chat tonight. Yeah, I said hi to him earlier. Brian Daly actually caught Team Replay last week and bought some slices of pizza from Team Replay, because it's the middle of the week, and I'm not used to my notification going off, and all of a sudden it's like, someone bought you pizza, and I was like, I'm not live. But yeah, you can buy me slices of pizza anytime you want. I don't care. It helps, because I'll be honest with you. This trip was about building the YouTube and stuff like that, and doing some Pota, but it's about testing the waters as well. I'd like to start cutting down my work schedule and doing more YouTube, and because I'll tell you, like, when it was winter in West Virginia, and it's still winter in West Virginia, but most of my activations was being in the car, and I don't want to constantly film activations in the car. That's boring stuff. So, like, mostly I was getting on live stream. Reed says Charleston Ham Fest is March the 19th. James will be presenting in a Pota forum. That's right. If you're anywhere near Charleston, West Virginia on March the 19th, and you would like to meet me, or if you like to hear me ramble on about Pota, please come in. I will try to be replenished in stickers by then, but no promises, because I'm getting back. Let's see. I leave here on the 28th. Go to DC and have a day layover. Not looking forward to a day layover in DC. Staying in a train station for a whole day. Yes, I will get out and Pota what I can walk to and stuff like that, but staying in a train station in DC does not sound fun to me. But then the next morning I get on a train and go back to Charleston, and I get to start back to West Virginia Pota style, which AKA for me means West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Virginia, Tennessee, and wherever else it may lead. But I'm going to have a ton of videos that I can still edit from down here as well. But I'm also going to have a ton of bills when I go to the post office and stop the hold on my mail from this month that I'm going to be behind on and stuff. So I will try to have stickers out there. Brian, you're absolutely right, and it's something that I'm really, really. Uh, it's not already been in my head. Uh, I would love to have a little van to turn it into a portable shack, or even a little 4x8 trailer that I could make like portable bedroom / ham shack. It's definitely in the plans. Uh, David, I don't know if it'll be a visit to the Pfeiffer, because that would be a little too far to walk from the train station and stuff. Pat unfortunately has to work that day, so I can't do it with Pat. I did post on the Parks on the Air page, if anybody near Washington wanted to do some Pota with me, that I would be up for pretty much anything. I have to activate that day because I have to keep my park a day going, but I can walk down to the National Mall really easy from there, and do some Pota for sure. But yes, it would be a great little project to do. I'm really wanting to do. See, my mom has like a Ford Transit, and I've been driving it around a lot down here. She goes to a lot of the parks with me, her and my sister. But some days, I just take it out and go myself. And that little Transit, it's really cool because there's one twofer that I do, and in order to do it for a twofer, you got to set up 100 foot from the trail. Blah 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 blah. There's not a lot of room right there, and I literally will throw out the Buddy Stick Pro, and I will crawl in the back of that Transit with the hatch up, and I will just start activating out of the back of the Transit. I think I may even have some video of me doing it. I know I posted a picture of me doing it on old ambulance. That would definitely work the same. Probably cheaper. Hey, one of you mods at Animation, there's another bot in there. Get him out of here for me. You finally arrived in YouTube when the bots start getting you. By the way, congratulations to each one of you guys as well. We recently hit over 500 subscribers. We're halfway to 1,000. When we get to 1,000, we're going to do what I will call a big giveaway. It won't be no Flex Radio Jason big giveaway, but I'll do a great giveaway when we get to 1,000. And also at the end of March, the people that's in the top 10, they'll be put into the James Jenner. Thank you very much for 5 pieces of pizza. I appreciate it, James. Another Patreon, and but the people who's in the top 5, James is actually currently in second in the top 10. But the people in the top 10 will be thrown in for a giveaway as well. And but like I said, I appreciate everything you guys do for me. We're coming up on the end of the hour. I'm going to go over what I've got coming up for you, and then we're going to call it. And I will drop the link again for the Patreons to pop on here. Ron, what didn't you see? Oh, the mod. Okay. No problem, Brian. It happens. Give away an Eagle 1. Well, that might be doable, Joseph Collins. That might be really good, considering that's an antenna that I really, really push the most. I will tell you that I've really been enjoying the Buddy Stick Pro while I'm down here. It's really finicky about tuning the 40. It's a little rough on 40, and I tell you, a lot of people probably couldn't even tune it the way I tuned it to start with, because I brought my my antenna analyzer, and I realized that I forgot the cable that I needed to run it over to the antenna, or I haven't found it yet. I feel like I still brought it, but I don't know what I've done with it. So I've been playing it by ear and making a few trips, but now I've got it like 20, especially 20 and 15. I can go out there and maybe one or two times, and I come back and I've got 1.5, and I am just killing it everywhere. Joseph Collins, I really hate that you've been on lunch lately because I get California a lot down here. So maybe this weekend, Collins, you should probably go out and run 100 watts on park to park. Even though I don't, no offense, Joseph, but I don't need you no more if them people will turn in their logs, because last weekend I got 3 California park to parks. So that'll knock out California whenever they turn in their logs. But I'd still love to get you in the log. And I know you need DC, so I'd love to get you while I'm up there again as well. But what I've got coming up, I will be releasing, as long as they don't cut off my software because I haven't paid yet, I will be releasing my video with Mike. I know you guys have probably seen his video with me already, but I'll be releasing mine later. Probably release it tomorrow to Patreons and sometime this weekend to the public. And after that, I have a ton of activation videos coming up. There's some really cool ones. The one on the island from yesterday. I went to a natural spring yesterday and activated. It's got some really good B-roll shots. So a lot of good videos coming up. So I really hope you guys like some of it. Thank you very much for coming out tonight. Let me drop this Patreon link one more time, and hopefully we'll have some Patreons tonight. Come in and do a little bit of after chat. But other than that, everybody, I appreciate you guys. And 73, we will see you next time. Right here comes the Patreon link. So Patreons, come over and talk to me. Everybody else, I will see you next week, or catch me on the air. 73.